Hello and welcome to this edition of Healthy Habits. I'm your host, Amie Travers. With us today is registered dietitian and the director of the Nourishing Wellness Center in Redondo Beach, Jeanne Peters. Jeanne, hello, welcome. Thanks for being here with us today.
It's great to be here.
We got a great topic. Today we're going to be talking about cold and flu remedies and things that you can be doing in the meantime to build your immune system all the way through the end. So Jeanne, it's really important that you act fast when you're feeling your early symptoms of a cold or a flu. Is that correct?
Absolutely. The sooner that you can take action, the better. So a lot of it is just paying attention to symptoms.
Your own personal symptoms, exactly.
Correct.
Like for you, you were saying you get cold.
When I get a chill, I know that I'm usually getting sick. My husband, on the other hand, he'll start to go ahead and get really hot. You know, his cheeks will be bright red. Everybody has their own sort of signature of symptoms. So what would be true for you?
I get headaches and I get really tired. And we talked a little bit before this that the CDC came out with a report a couple years ago that actually stated that they found if you act right at those very early symptoms, you can either get rid of the cold or flu altogether, or you can really shorten the duration and lessen the severity. So what's one of the first things we could talk about just building our immune system in general during this time?
I think one of the most powerful things to consider is getting your vitamin D up. And one of the things that we noticed in our center, because we measure everybody's vitamin D, most people are low because we're living indoors, we're not getting the full exposure of the sun to be able to optimize levels.
Covering in sunblock.
Right, so one of the things is vitamin D. So if your blood levels are low, taking a vitamin D supplement is warranted. And one of the things that we know is that vitamin D is so powerful for building your immune system. And so we know that for every 4 nanograms that you can increase your vitamin D blood levels, you can actually decrease by 7 to 15% your likelihood of having respiratory infections or viral infections. So vitamin D would be one of the first things that I would jump on.
What's another thing we could be doing to boost our immune system? I know we talked a little bit about gut health.
Right. So anything that you could do, think of your gut and your brain are connected and that there's like a freeway system that runs them. If you can keep your gut strong and healthy, that's actually going to be where a good portion of your immune system lives in your gut.
Yeah.
So you can think in terms of probiotic rich foods like a yogurt or a kefir or even just cultured vegetables like the sauerkraut.
Or even maybe pickles, really good pickles.
Absolutely. And you want them so that they're raw and cultured. So that's one way that your body is actually going to get this healthy bacteria that will help to support a good immune system.
So we have some really fun remedies to talk about today. Jeanne, what is the first one you want to talk about?
You know, I really like to look at things that we know have been proven in science to help reduce the severity and the duration of the flu. So one of the things that we always recommend to our clients is also Azucilloxanum.
That's a very hard one to pronounce.
It's a great product. This is a homeopathic preparation. And one of the things that I love about homeopathy is that it's safe, non-toxic. It's perfect for a mother who's pregnant or who's nursing. So there's no side effects that are going to impact the unborn child. But it's also one of the things that we know that as soon as you get the first flu-like symptoms, whether you're feeling body aches or fatigue or tired, as you were mentioning, headaches, fever, chill, that's the time to take. And the way that these products are designed is that they're little pellets in like a little tube. So you just open this up and pour the pellets into your tongue.
And
they dissolve almost instantly. And so it's an easy way for even a child to take. So children 2 and up can go ahead and benefit from Oscillos as well as seniors. So I love that because it will help to reduce the severity and the duration.
And so these are important to take right at your very early signs, right, Jeanne?
Correct.
Right when you feel off, there's no downside.
Yeah, and another brand that I like is the same company, Cold Calm. It's great for when people have a runny nose or nasal congestion or minor sore throats. And it, again, is safe and FDA approved. So it's wonderful for any member in the family to benefit. And you can find this at Walgreens or CVS.
I've seen them everywhere, and I actually haven't tried them. I really should. So thank you for that, Jeanne. And what is the next one you want to talk about? I see a lot of fun stuff, some honey, which is one of my faves.
Well, I think it's nice just to remind ourselves that teas, we want to hydrate. So, you know,
fluids in general.
Absolutely. So if you can get yourself a nice cup of tea, this one is throat comfort. So anybody who's feeling like they can't swallow or whatever, this has got slippery elm in it. It's got some other things like marshmallow that just helps to go ahead and keep the throat hydrated. But we know that honey just in general will help to hydrate. So if you've got that difficulty with swallowing or it's sore when it's swallowing, you know, that would be helpful. If you've got a cough, you know, in which you find that little tickle sometimes, you just can't suppress that. Honey is wonderful.
Kind
And
of like a lubrication of your throat a little
lubrication,
bit.
and if you can get it raw, that's even better.
Yes, great. And then we have some zinc and vitamin C, right?
Yes.
We kind of all know that, but
Well, just again, nutrients that play a role. So vitamin C, lots of research that has shown that optimizing the vitamin C not only in your bloodstream but also in your tissues can really help, and ester C is a great example of that. And then I love zinc. Most of us aren't aware that zinc really helps to optimize immunity.
zinc is huge.
Yeah, so if you can get 5 milligrams, this is actually drops, you can get up to 50 milligrams. I think it's something in which you can be the person that determines when you buy it in the liquid
Yeah.
form like that, but you can also get them with lozenges, possibly because maybe your kids really want something that tastes good, and
they're
that's going to
tasty.
help them to
Yeah.
consistently get the vitamin C and the zinc that they need.
I will point out that for some people like me, zinc on an empty stomach can really upset your stomach, so it's kind of a good one to eat a little something with.
Good point.
Yeah, especially when you're sick, you don't want to feel worse.
Yes.
And the next one is bone broth.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing right now, Jeannie. A
Well,
lot of
bone
people are
broth
making
is
their own.
something in which it's an example of, something that our grandmothers and our mothers probably did. They take all the bones and cook them down, and the collagen that actually holds those bones together melts into that broth. And so when you're taking that, it actually creates almost like a shield in the gut. So it's actually helping for people who might have leaky gut to actually build up a shield that allows that immune system to stay intact where it belongs.
Right.
So broth is just always something that's
Healing.
soothing. We're talking about getting fluid, so it's nice just to be able to have somebody sip on that. You're still getting some protein. So if somebody doesn't feel up to eating, broth might be a good way to go.
And broth would be chicken bone broth in general. Bone broth is even more nutrient dense.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, and so also another fun one that we want to talk about is essential oils. We could do a whole episode about essential oils, but for now we'll talk about Thieves. Thieves has been around for years and years and years. They've done a lot of studies on it. And this one's just incredible for your immune system. You can put it in your tea, you could put it on your skin with a little bit of a carrier oil because it can burn, it has cinnamon. Jeannie,
Yeah,
you
it's
could
got
take
5
this one
different
away.
essential oils. So it's got cinnamon, it's got lemon, it's got rosemary, it's got
Eucalyptus,
eucalyptus and cloves.
Yeah.
So each of those has amazing properties. They work as antimicrobial, antiviral, pathogenic. So there's lots of benefits. I tend to put it into my mouthwash. So I buy mouthwash. I'll add a couple more drops to that every night when I'm going ahead and gargling. I'm getting that beneficial effect in which I'm decreasing that pathogenic bacteria in the mouth, what we know leads to infections. So lots of benefits.
It's a great one. It smells like Christmas. It's a little strong, so I would go very easy on it in your tea.
point.
You can really have a burning mouth.
Yeah, you don't want to go
I've
ahead
learned-
and burn your tissue.
I've done that to my husband, and he was like, "What did you give me?" But it's very delicious. And then last but not least, this is one of my favorites. This is a new one you guys might have seen everywhere. Is elderberry syrup. You can get it at Walgreens, Whole Foods, just about anywhere, and you can even make it yourself. Jeannie, I'll let you take this one away.
Yeah, so elderberries are interesting. I mean, they go all the way back. The Native Americans used it because they grow, abundantly in many parts of the country. And then herbalists going all the way back to Europe have been recognizing that elderberry has a couple of things. Naturally rich in antioxidants. It's got a lot of high polyphenols. Those are the color that gives it that deep, rich purple color. Naturally high in vitamin C, high in several of the different minerals like zinc. So it actually works to help improve immunity.
Tastes
It's not
good,
something
too.
it's not going to prevent the flu, but just like a lot of the things that we talked about, it's going to reduce the severity and the duration.
We hope that these tips get you through the cold and flu season and that your immune system is improved after watching this. Jeannie, thank you so much for being here today. It's always wonderful to work with you.
It's great to go ahead and share these tips.
That's going to do it for this edition of Healthy Habits. We'll see you next time.